Hello Void, I am Agitated Crane, and we are back in Baldur's Gate. And I don't think we need any introductions. Let's just walk around and try to figure out who is who. Okay, I was here before. Hold on. What is this? The Stormshore Tabernacle. Okay. Okay. Double doors. Is this a temple? Oh, actually, I just remembered that I have a bunch of scrolls that we did not read. Note to all Knights of the Shield members. Please find within our latest intelligence on the city lockdown and alternative smuggling routes to the upper city. Take note and destroy after reading. Knights of the Shield, I think, was the organization that the Elite created, right? And the siege is new. Or I guess lockdown due to the siege is new. So are the shields, Knights of the Shield, still active? Investment opportunity. A ledger of potential investment leads in Kalimshan. Almraven shipyards, buy. Kaltaran cattle, buy. Kalimport, sell. Manshaka, Vestir clear for now. Memnon seafood, buy. Tishburl, sell. Okay. Record of operations in Neverwinter. Oh. A ledger documenting the dates of every sabotage operation in Neverwinter and the code names of the Knights of the Shield agents involved. Nice. Royal orders, and this is what we got from Kityanki people. Do what has been asked of you, stop the interlopers, take back what is mine, else your punishment will be severe, by order of your queen. Ledger of Waterdeep debts. Nice. A ledger of debts from high-ranking officials in Waterdeep, annotated with a handwritten comment. For favors, start at top in order of descending importance. An Archduke Leadership, Public Works. An Archduke Leadership, Public Works. A pamphlet by the Gortash for Archduke Voluntary Campaign. As Archduke, Lord Gortash, top priority will be public works, to ensure that the city's streets, sewers, docks, and most importantly its walls and gates are properly maintained. No policy can be more important. No policy. Jesus. Okay. Allocation of reserve supplies. For knights use only, do not distribute. Buried behind Counting House, path to Baldur's Gate near Upper City. Oh. I'm guessing the perception would trigger this. Or maybe it wouldn't, unless I knew about it. Let's hope our character now knows about it. On the inevitability... Hold on. On the inevitability of moral decay and its benefits. A lengthy essay on the inevitability of moral decay, the opportunities it presents, and the ways to capitalize upon them. Introduction. Chapter 1, Morality is not absolute. Chapter 2, Why moral decay is not immoral. Chapter 3, 1 man's decline is another man's gain. Chapter 4, those who play and those who make the rules. Chapter 5, how to win the game. Okay. I'm not going to comment on that. Patriarch correspondence. To the Honorable Lord Eomain, I have received your request for the support of the Knights of the Shield in the expansion of the fish oil trade. The Shield would not be averse to such an agreement, but the risk it would incur rather outweigh the cut that you have proposed. In short, we are prepared to do business with you, but let us meet to hammer out the finer details. I eagerly await your response, Master Yoru Nightshade. To silence. The following individuals are a threat to our operation and need to be silenced. Lilatarian of House Alibakar, Arid of House Nashivar, Carborant of House Salemchant, Renford the Putrid of the Cowled Wizards, Lord Hecate, Harbor Master Peterson. And I think we got this from Bal person, right? Inroads by Arms Dealer, Gortash. Nine Fingers. Here follows a report on the inroads upstart smuggler Enver Gortash has been making on the illicit arms trade in the Shauntar Vale. Though inroads badly understates the case, annexation would be more apt. The former black market leaders, the Knights of the Shield, and outside the city, the Gentarim, have largely been supplanted by Gortash operation. Illegal arms have never been a major component of the guild's business, but given his apparent ambitions, it would be unwise to assume that Gortash will stop there. He bears watching closely. So we have more stuff to do with Nine Fingers, or with the guild, I guess. We have information about Minsk, probably, and maybe they could be allies against Gortash. Newly condemned criminals. Manip Seyama, prepare to receive 2 more prisoners condemned to execution. Vince Torel, absolute spy, convicted of treason, and Durm Koroi, convicted of attempted assassination of Lord Gortash. Both are currently being held in the Stone Eyes precinct lockup, but will be transferred to Basilisk Gate prison shortly. Durm Goroi could be someone we could use. Pigeons available for collection. I'm once again writing to inform you that one of your pigeons that was destined for the barracks has instead arrived at Basilisk Gate. We are not a postal service, even less a birdhouse, so please could you kindly come and collect the creature as a matter of urgency, or send one of your fists to do so. Thank you. Surveillance notes. The city harpers appear to operate independently, each separate cell. We read this, I think. Yeah. It's about harpers, how they are easy to interrupt. The apprentice's companion, but the third. With regards to items, those are oft overlooked as a source of substantial power and importance. We read this as well. The true and possible adventures of Tony Broom Morrow. An excerpt from The True and Impossible Adventures of Tony Brew Morrow, a pulp serial following the real-life exploits of an interplanar ship captain. The real Captain Marrow is known never to have left her native Waterdeep and emerges from her rooms at the Yawning Portal only to exchange scrawled manuscripts for fresh meals and ink. Well, drink probably as well. And thus, in the light of the fabled's never-setting sun, we passed into the land of the Eladrin. My astute resolution to sail around their forest was betrayed. It seems to me that the river itself conspired to change course, bringing the new bride into the shadow of the trees that I might see those dancing figures up close. The form of the Eladrin, with which I am now intimately familiar, is that of elves as seen in a fever dream, slender as wands and with hair of every changeable hue. Their moods mirror that fey wilderness from which they spring, one moment gentle as a still pond, the next inexorable and deadly as a falling mountain. The latter, the latter, meaning the falling mountain. The latter I experienced only after spending many agreeable hours, or perhaps season, among them. A halfling woman employed among my crew as a smith dared to raise her voice in song about that of our hosts. The depth of the insult became clear as the forest fell into silence, and it was only quick thinking on my part that delivered a compromise. When we left, it was without our smith, and the only sound was the solitary ring of her hammer as she endeavored to forge a blade that would sing for the Eladrin more sweetly than she. It has been some centuries since. I hope she has succeeded by now. Okay. Kill order. You won't have to wear those Harper's smiles much longer. Oren has given the order. Kill the crone. Right, but that's something that we read as well. And notes on the Mind Flayer anatomy. This we found in Emperor's safe house. So I think it's new. It should be new. Insight gleaned from research. Mind Flayer must consume the brain of humanoids in order to stay alive. It is said that the act of devouring a humanoid brain results in a state of euphoria and contributes to the thin glaze of mucus that coats a Mind Flayer's skin. Some researchers go so far as to claim that it is possible to deduce how recently another Mind Flayer fed, and indeed the health of its victim, from the viscosity of that mucus. Little is known about what a Mind Flayer brain contains. Some have argued that their skulls are filled with eggs that will later become the tadpoles with which they enthrall their victims. Others propose that the brain is in fact a cluster of pure cerebral nerves. Since Mind Flayers procreate by tadpoling humanoids, they technically have no need of genitals, but I have been unable to verify this in the absence of any written record. Alright, I think we read all of it, and I think here we have a bunch more reading to do, but first let's talk with Mr. Vicar Humbletoes. He is blessed, don't you know?
Your patron may not enjoy you shopping around a divine warlock. It bothers me none. Be welcome, child of faith. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day?
Who are you?
I am Vicar Humbletoes, guardian of the Stormshore Tabernacle. I keep the peace in this sacred place and guide those in need.
What can I do here?
Here, clerics may commune with their gods, and even hear their responses, if they are so favored. I am also granted the power to provide holy resurrection through sales of revivification scrolls.
Oh, Nice. So you can trade.
Of course, my child. Within limits. Behold my wares.
Oh my god. When you heal a creature, it gains the effect of Blade Ward. When you revive creature, it gains the effect of Death Ward. And we get free Revivify. This is actually massive. They think it... Yeah, it's fucking better than what I have currently. We want this. Crusader's Mantle. Evocation spell. Radiate a holy power that emboldens you and nearby allies. You and your allies' weapon attacks deal an additional radiant damage. The Sacred Star. On hit, inflict 1 turn of radiant orb upon the target. Undead creatures struck by this weapon are possibly turned. When you miss attack, you deal 1 point of bludgeoning damage anyway. Downburst Strike. Deal additional radiant damage equal to your proficiency bonus. On a hit, light erupts around you in 10-foot area. Enemies and light must succeed Constitution saving throw or be blinded. It's actually something interesting. Both of them. Well, the thing is that cloaks... There are better cloaks than this. But if some of our people don't have cloak at all, it could be useful. This may be interesting, but I'm pretty sure we have better stuff already, so we don't need it. Revivify is important. But for now, let's just keep reviving hands. Why are we offering less? Are we hoping our persuasion... Let's try it. Offer has been refused. Well, okay. In which case... How about this? Refused. Oh, okay, I mean... Am I broke? I am broke. Let's offer silver ingot and diamond and garnet ring and this scroll. You will like this scroll. Okay, then grease bottle I want to keep. Books. I may have to sell a bunch of books, maybe. There we go. Absolute thievery. Okay. Why did it not pass? Or did it pass? It did pass, okay. So, strength saving throw we keep. When you heal another creature, it gains resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks, compared to Blade Ward. Which is exactly that, but also if we revive someone, they get the Death Ward. Okay, so they can't be killed again right away. So that seems like an improvement. Temporary hit points after casting a spell in melee is actually something that could be useful. It may be better than absorb elements. I am not sure.
I wonder what the next move is.
So,
No time to rest.
my thinking, right? What's this? Oh, right, elite stuff. We would lose bonus to sleight of hand. Momentum, we probably don't care about. Slight increase to movement speed. Yeah. And that word. Ah, okay. So we don't actually have a better circlet. I think maybe we have like Githyanki one. When you succeed a saving throw, the focused the throw takes damage. Githyanki would receive like a shit ton of bonuses though for this. This is like Githyanki equipment, so I guess we are waiting to save Lysel. But I was looking at this, right? So technically gaining temporary hit points after casting a spell while in melee could maybe be more useful to Will. In which case, absorb elements we could try giving to Karlach maybe? But why are we looking into this? Do we have like
No one stopped me yet.
Cloak? That could be useful.
Defender of the people.
Let's march. I'm ready.
I guess I'm looking at cloaks because this guy has healer's
Bathed in
cloak.
the cool gleam of moonlight. You must be
Oh,
a follower of Selûne. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day?
so she is cleric of Selûne now. I can feel my god's light shine brightly here. Why?
Ha! That is no surprise, Holy One. You have entered the Stormshore Tabernacle. Here, clerics may commune with their gods, and even hear their responses, if they are so favored. I am also granted the power to provide holy resurrection through sales of revivification scrolls.
This is fake dialogue option. How did you know who I was?
My purpose is to connect every soul with their divine patron. How could I do that if I couldn't distinguish what deities they serve?
Okay, trade. I am confusion. Why was I looking at cloaks? Yeah, whatever. So interesting stuff here, right? I was thinking that well, I mean, it was kind of obvious that when we with Shadowheart rebelled against Shar, that some other god picked her up and I was certain that it's probably going to be a saloon, right? And indeed, I was right. But what's more interesting is that this guy can spot which cleric you are worshipping. That's one of the things. And then another thing,
These things have stayed interesting.
we still get dialogue options with Shadowheart about Shar. Not dialogue options, but so for example, when we were walking around the city, Will talked with Shadowheart and he mentioned that he was talking with her as if she was still worshipping Shar. Oh, there is wooden hutch. Blessings for the refugees.
Here we go.
May all who come to the city gates be well, be safe. Let them find safe harbor within the city walls. Let their loved ones stay at their sides. Let the children stay in their mothers' and fathers' arms.
And the courage to resist. So may it be.
Statue of Saloon.
You see an altar dedicated to Saluna.
Read that which is inscribed upon the altar.
An inscription reads, "Let all who worship the changing tides of life and knowledge feel the blessings of Saluna. Trust in the purity of my light. See the constancy in its inconstancy, and you will be guided aright. Goddess of the moon and stars, her words and light have long helped wanderers to find their way. Perhaps it could help you too."
Mistra, helm, and deer. Okay. But I want to read more stuff. Dedication to the Pantheon.
Saluna. Had life turned out differently, I might have been kneeling in prayer here.
We actually have, I think, Selenite amulet. A scroll of basic prayers to a major deities of the realms. Bahamut, leave me blind to all but the true light of justice, O valiant one. Carolan, I bid my soul glide across the moon and stars with you, Elf Father. Alistrair, run thy sword across my chains, Silver Lady, that I may join your dance. Garl, glitter gold, grant me but a fraction of thy wit, sire, it is all one could need. Grumsh, guide blade to gut, neck and still beating heart, hear me. Helm, keep my path in your unfeathered gaze, Lord, I shall not err if you are watching. Ilmater, until I can bear a fraction of your burdens, sufferer, I shall. Kellenvor, look not upon our sins, master of scales, but measure the worth of your most grateful dead. Ledugiguer, we walk amongst the filth and drag, let the harsh command of your eternal task drive our footfall. Lathander, I shall let all who dwell in dark feel your holy dawn, morning Lord, hear my prayer. I'm kinda disappointed that we did not finish Lathander Monastery quest line. Lold, I spin my web of house, mother, I spin it in your name. Let not the threads unravel. My lucky, guide my path as only you know how, in whispering leaves and slowing grasslands. So there is no... no dead tree, I'm noticing. Myrkul. Myrkul is the one I remember, but the other two are Bee, so Bal and Bane, right? So none of them here.
Shield our people from the depredations of
Guide my path as only you know how, in whispering leaves and slowing grasslands. Moradin, hold my hammering hand firm, my crafting mind steadfast, and the tools I form perfect in your image. Mistra, I speak into your wave, my supplication and faith, and hope the magics I hold are pleasing to your eye. Ogma, whatever I may say, you know already, thus I will speak our knowledge to those without it. I don't remember what Ogma does. Knowledge? I guess. Saloon, let your moon be my light, and I shall let my sword be your shining symbol. Shar, mother of night, darken my step as I walk among the light. Hear my prayer. Talos, hold me in your tempest. Stormbringer, keep my strength to hand. And then Tempus, mighty foehammer, lend me your strength as I wage your righteous war. Tiamat, oh, Tiamat is here. Many mouths speak your hunger into this world, mistress, let me be the loudest. Timora, I think she's, luck. But a glancing touch of your grace would benefit me well, Lady Luck. Tyr, let me be your eyes, blind one, and cast your justice upon this world. Tyr, and Bahamut, I guess. Blind and justice. Vlakit. Tlavlakit Sharky. Tlavlakit Tavki. Tlavlakit Lekshakla.
divine protectors of Baldur's Gate.
Still not a fan of Vlakit being a god. Yandala, fill my cup with plenty. May it never run dry. Okay. Hold on. Okay. What else? What else do we have? We have a lot of stuff. My reading is tired. In progress essay. Thus, I wonder whether the following thesis may hold water, that as city life becomes more precarious, as the marching armies menace the borders, that people will turn not to the gods who allowed this to happen, but to the dark entities who might have the power to stop it. I speak of the dead tree, Bane, Baal, and Myrkul, for when death threatens your door, who better than the god of living dead to protect you? Is it not better to murder than be murdered? And true domination in its purest form is not the dominator protected. I predict then that the coming days will see a wave of conversion such as we have never seen before. Again, Sorry, I keep getting distracted. The Layperson's Guide to Holy Exorcism. Oh my god, okay. An instructional script for exorcists to read from when removing possessing spirits. Now we understand that possession can be a scary and difficult time. It's perfectly normal to have concerns and questions about the process, but please keep them until the end. In the next minute or so, I will perform a harmless exorcising incantation called Read as Appropriate, Dispel Evil and Good. Person remove curse item. That will have your Read as Appropriate person item freed from otherworldly influence in no time. So, your beloved Read as Appropriate person item was recently exercised. We understand this can be a difficult time, and we don't actually learn anything from this. Ooh. Just a regular spear. Okay. Charter of Tabernacle donations. Okay.
Divine protectors of Baldur's Gate, hear this humble plea.
We wish not to hide the generosity of the Gate's gathered faithful. All donations are used in the upkeep of the tabernacle and payment of its staff. This worshipful season. Helm 50,000. Oh my god. 9 cattle flock. A selection of precious gemstones. 16 severed eyes. Please note offerings of Viscera are highly discouraged on tabernacle premises. Saloon 47,000. A shipment of magic lamps, 3 parlor mirrors, alabaster, wrongful iron, and silver. More candles than we have been able to count. Thanks to her flock generous donation to the tabernacle coffers, we are proud to announce a newly commissioned statue of the bountiful Timora. Oh, may her luck be with you. And plea. Blessed Vicar, I beg your aid in a matter most grave. Some ill-meaning magus has afflicted my household with a series of hexes. First, my eldest fell out of a tree and broke his arm. I thought nothing of it at first, but then my youngest broke her front tooth on the corner of her bed frame. What misfortune, I thought, when the very next day I myself came down with a sweating fever so severe I could not hold a clay cup without dropping it. Please, Vicar, do what you can through the grace of Helm to cure whatever curse has plagued my home. I cannot take another tragedy. Sure. Statue of the Gods.
This altar isn't dedicated to a single god, but instead acts as a conduit to many. Your god is one of many, and in this place you sense a spark of its mighty divine flame.
What is inscribed?
It reads, "Show your devotion with an offering in your god's name. Blessings may follow."
May. Okay. Gaunt and gripping life by the tongues. Oh, I can't even read it in front of him. I thought reading is allowed. Lord of Battles, Foehammer, protect me in the battle to come. Let my sword ring true against the armies of the Absolute. Let me live to see another day. A scroll scrawled with an unsteady hand. Look, I'm not sure about this whole divine thing. I don't know much about you lot, and I reckon you don't know much about me. On account of never praying before. Thing is, I don't want to die, don't want my ship to die either. The absolute thing on the horizon stinks. Not in the good way. A ship stinks, but in the bad way that a corpse does. So if any of you are out there, can you fix it? Stop them, please. Thanks for listening, reading, whichever. Yours faithfully, Barney Pins. I come once again. Okay. I guess Barney is not Bernie. Never mind. Scrolls. Household prayer. I think we read it already. Yeah. Okay. And nothing there. Oh, we can go out that way, I guess. Statue of Mistra.
You see an altar dedicated to Mistra. Mistra, mother of all magic, is the patron of wizards and often called upon by other spellcasters as well. She's said to be a jealous goddess. Your studies of religion don't suffice to tell you more.
Ah, disappointing. Helm.
You see an altar dedicated to Helm the Vigilant. Helm the Watcher is a guardian god, dedicated to the preservation of order. Many turn to him in troubled times. Make your donation to him and you'll likely feel more vigilant, more resilient to the unexpected. You see an altar dedicated to Tyr. Tyr, the blind god, offers justice to all, innocent and malefactor alike. The law dictates what is right, be that reward or retribution. His unseeing eyes are a testament to the lawful life he lived and what it cost him. Make a sacrifice out of your own pocket and you may yet be blessed.
I'm not sure I need blessing from any of them.
What's inside?
I mean, it's probably going to be something for one day or something like that. A is for Azot, the other gods. Amonator's sun's bright light shines the truth into man's laws. Speak his name to stop a fight, then invoke a legal clause. Beware dread Asmodeus, both his words and promises sweet, more able to betray us than the devils at his feet. Auril is merciless and cold, the winter's icy bread. Spare her a little food and gold, so you won't freeze to death. Okay. The Soul Forger. Introduction. Dwarven myths are so engaging because the skeleton of their story is tied to a craft of the modern era. The bones are made of steel, iron, nickel, copper, a whole host of metals alloyed in superheated and fused together at the joints of legend. Moradin, Soulforger, Allfather, is said to have crafted the dwarven species from the very core of the planet Abertoril. By retelling this story, dwarves link themselves to the craft of blacksmithing. They have in one fell swoop tapped an ore vein of metaphor and discovered a seam of cultural import. For dwarves are not born so industrious, so stoneworthy, so clever at geology. Rather, unlike the growth of long bushy beards, it is learned behavior. Alright. Lessons of Helm. In this text, you come across the bull-necked, hard-spinned doctrines of the god Helm, as transcribed and interpreted by a paladin called "Thou Shalt Not Suffer." The doom hearing, oh my god, thou shalt not, thou shalt not suffer the doom hearing to live O'Reilly. Okay. He chose that name after being convicted that the son. I cannot read today. He chose that name after being convinced that the Xanathar organization was not led by a many-eyed beholder monster, but by something called a Doom Herring. The doctrines are the usual religious fare, only mildly distinguished by Helm's focus on the provision of protection to those who need it, forming a shield of steel as well as sympathy for the meek and downtrodden. Okay.
Divine protectors of Baldur,
At the ready.
hear this humble plea. Shield our people from the depredations
Timora?
of the absolute enemies.
A list of oaths and sayings that ought to incur Timora's blessing, granting the speaker good luck. By Lady Luck's smile, turntable Timora, I invoke thee. By the rolling of my dice, please let the results be nice. Spin, spin, O fickle fate wheel. Lady of the diamond glitter dice. Mistress of good fortune. Sovereign of luck, please have mercy on me. For fuck's sake. Diamond glitter dice. The Hound and the Hand. The lawful god Tyr lost his right hand to Gazev the House Hound, a devourer of souls and one of the primordial evils. A coalition of gods hell-bent on taking down Gazev chased the Hound to the barrens of doom and despair and offered him a compact. If the Hound could break chains made by the smith god Gond, the gods will dissolve their union and leave Gazev be. Gazev was skeptical, but he agreed, so long as Tyr put his hand in the Hound's mouth. Tyr looked upon the slavering jaws, each stood as long as a spear, and he agreed at once. Of course, Gazev had not accounted for the strength of the chain, which was rooted in hellish Cocytus and blessed by the goddess of magic Mystra. Unable to break free, he bit Tyr's hand clean off, and Tyr sealed the bleeding stump, and walked one-handed forevermore, as if it were a badge of honor, which indeed it was, and of boldness and courage besides. But why? I guess to put the chains on him? I don't know. Mother of Halflings. Oh, we can actually steal it. This text is brimmed full with charming short stories concerning Yondala, the matriarch, protector, and sovereign creator of the halfling species. Here is one. Once there, a community of young pack. Oh. Is there was missing? Once there was a community of young pugs and brim pretty, oh my god, pretty halflings called Lurmilakes. They were none of them old yet, having only newly formed their community around being virile and strong, so all could contribute to the upkeep and tidying and fixing and mending and so on. Halflings have a great many activities like that. So it was a big shock when an old woman came and asked to join the community. They told her she wasn't welcome, and when they turned her away, politely but very firmly, she went into the nearby woods. Now the Lurmelakes couldn't have known she was going to take shelter there, so don't think too badly of them, but take shelter she did. When the werewolf man who lived there came to rob the old woman, Yondala invested the old woman with knitting needles of impeccable swiftness. Oh my god. She knitted the werewolf man clothes that would expand to accommodate their monthly changes, and they escorted her back to the Lurmelakes, who accepted the old woman and who took their lumps and scoldings too from the werewolf man, not at all amused at the halfling's lack of sympathy for such a clever elder as this. Okay. Halfling's stuff is weird. Selûne's devotee. This diary records the life of John Medowlin. He suffered from lycanthropy, becoming a werebear at the advent of the full moon. Cured of his condition by a priestess of Selûne, John Medowlin exchanged his gloves for a great sword and cause. I think we read this. He would keep this priestess, her name was Erlona, safe from all trouble on the highways and byways. Further, he would bear witness to her many miracles, for Erlona was a saint of the goddess, and gifted even more than he could have imagined. They never fell in love, though their friendship was quite something. Yeah, we read it before. And then here we have the last book, hopefully. Last two books. Magical Histories, The Origins of Mystra. I think we read this as well, but let's remind ourselves what it is about. To know of Mystra, the goddess of magic, we must first consider her earlier incarnations, beginning with Mistril. The Lady of Mysteries was said to have come into existence during a conflict between the goddesses Shar and Selûne. In their efforts to best one another, the twin sisters of darkness and light inadvertently forged a portion of their opposing energies into a new being of pure magic, Mistril. As an embodiment of magic, Mistril laid claim to unparalleled control over the wave, the very fabric by which magic could be channeled and harnessed, for it was but an extension of her being. For her, to use magic was as natural as it would be for another to draw a breath or curl their fingers. It was many years back that Mistril gave way to Mystra, when the former had her powers seized by Karsus, an Edris lord, and perhaps the most powerful and ambitious wizard to have ever lived. Yet Mistril sought to deny him his ill-gotten prize, sacrificing herself so that for a moment the wave faltered and all magic briefly ceased. I think this was spell plague. Karsus' folly brought about the destruction of Netheril and the end of his ambition, yet the wave would not go unattended for long. Within moments, the goddess of magic was reborn as Mystra. Was it spell plague? Because I think Netheril was destroyed during spell plague, and spell plague was the cause of magic not being there. Or no, I think that's different, because spell plague, I don't know. Laretian. The introduction to Laretian by Palmer Junisuga. Oh my god. Reads, it is no exaggeration to say that Carolon Laretian is the primary figure in the pantheon of elves. It is said that his tears mingled with those of Sehanine Moonbow actually created elves. As in all myths, the physiological reverse oblation God gives to his people is interesting. The elven people are not formed from Corellon's hip bone, his throat, his testicles. Instead, they arise from an expression of sorrow. Some scholars frame them then as an antidote to his pain. Corellon was at the time experiencing loss and feelings of betrayal. More traditional thinking, and here I quote the elf sage Aether Llewellyn, plays elves as sad as a species can be. This rings truer for me. Life, after all, deposits its fair share of difficulties on those burdened with living it, and elves endure a long, long time. Okay. Oh my god, we finished reading. We have to leave. Leave this place and never come back. Oh my god, I'm still just at the basilisk gate. Okay, we have some people talking here.
Doing a little shopping in the city.
Same. I think I may have overdone it with the black and purple for, well, my entire life. Serves you well, though.
I'm 10 years behind. Don't want the youths to think I'm not, up with the times.
I wouldn't mind doing a little shopping in the city. Same, I think I may have overdone it with the black and purple for my entire life. Your look serves you well though. I'm 10 years behind, don't want the youths to think I'm not, up with the times. Oh my god. Fashion!
Lord Gortash is exactly what Baldur's Gate needs. I dread to think where we'd be without the Steel Watch.
The Steel Watchers are doing most of the good here, really. I'd love a gander at those schematics.
Gortash is the light bringer. Gortash will burn the Absolute to smoke and ashes.
I don't really agree with Lord Gortash's methods, but the man does get things done.
Only Lord Gortash has the strength to protect our city. You two must submit to Lord Gortash if you are to be saved. Who will save us from certain destruction? And how will we step into its new and brilliant dawn?
Lightbringer Gortash will show us the way.
As you were, citizen.
Wrong click. I was trying to aim at here.
If the Steel Watchers had eyes, at least you'd feel like you were being watched by something with a soul.
No, we are not censoring the mouth. We are simply doing a routine inspection. And no, I cannot sell you a copy.
Listen, pal, if you're not moving my share of broadsheets, you're in my way. Shift!
These writers sure do have a lot to say. The amount of trees they must have cut down to print all these papers. And people complain about the Steel Watch taking up resources. Huh.
No.
I keep telling you animals, if you want to buy a gazette,
Talk to the loud little shit screaming headlines. I deliver the papers. I do not sell them.
I see. Complicated ecosystem, I guess. Nortail Hostel.
Nortail's shelter. Refugees welcome.
Hello. Hostel Mother Pamela Nortail.
Welcome. If you've need of a bunk or a bath, you'll find them upstairs.
Dolber Greeny.
I'm grateful to be here, I am. But I thought we'd arrive as a family. Not like this.
Not like this. Dwindling.
The soap here smells funny.
Your voice sounds funny. What are you?
I'm so scratchy. Stupid lice.
I think it's maybe like older woman recording the lines for a kid, and that's why it sounds so weird.
Good luck getting some kip up here. I'd stuff your ears if I were you.
Mm. Why is there so many stuff to read? House rules. Be considerate, everybody is going through something. Make a mess, clean it up. No ritual sacrifices on the back porch. Use a cutting board on the prep table. Oh my god. No singing or dancing after sundown. 1 bucket of clean water per use of the wash tub. No intimacy clients in the dormitory. I'm serious. Okay. My dear Madame Nortail. You make a compelling case for an additional contribution over and above my usual annual donation, but Daddy, Lord here, you remember, tells me that I've already overspent my allowance, so I'm on short rations until my intended dowry comes through. Hard cheese for all of us, sorry to say, but my cousin Clairbolt had a clever idea, as he so often does. If you could see your way to renaming your establishment after Daddy to hear Ryland's Hotel, I'm certain I can persuade him to cut loose with a good old chunk of change in your direction. There might even be a bit for me for suggesting it. What do you say? Let me know quickly, he is in a good mood. Your admirer, Darkyu Rylin. Draft letter to Lord Whitburn. To the Honorable Lord Whitburn, Whitburn House, Upper City, I am Pamela Nortail, owner and manager of Nortail's Hostel, a non-profit boarding house catering to families in need. And with the current refugee crisis, there are more families in need than ever. Once before your marriage, you told me that if you could only afford it, you would be happy to help defray our costs with a generous donation. I am told you have since come into funds, and our need is so desperate that I am presumptuous enough to ask for money. Okay. The Adventures of Where is this? Is it maybe like up somewhere? 5 or 6 heroes. Patriarchs, a homegrown aristocracy. Reading like an extremely brave or suicidal act of journalism, this scathing takedown of the Baldurian upper crust decries each house, from the Coldwells who jealously hoard patronage of the city art museums to the Irlentries whose merchant fleet floats swift and immense across the reaping waters, to the Raven Shades who control the production of ink, dye, jewelry, and gemstones. The list goes on, with bile seeming to underline each insult, each description of the wealthy household, reveling as their good fortune turns. City life is a dark pond. The text seems to imply scum arises to the top. Well, yeah, obviously. The Guild, hidden rulers of Baldur's Gate. The book's central argument is encapsulated in a chapter devoted to Rilsa Ryle, Guild Kingpin of Little Kalimshan. In another time and another place, Rilsa Ryle would be celebrated as a revolutionary. In Baldur's Gate, in her own lifetime, she is known as a crime lord, a kingpin of the Guild, ruling over the city within a city that is the district of Little Kalimshan. Rilsa's story began when she was orphaned at a young age. Her father was hanged by the Flaming Fist for sheltering his fugitive brother. Soon after, her mother was denounced by the jealous wife of a patriarch and imprisoned in the sea tower, where she perished. Alone in the world, she had learned two valuable lessons. When the law is corrupt, it is a necessity for those without the support of its enforcers to act outside it. And when the law is brutal, it is an ethical duty to act against it. Operating from within the Kalim Jewel Emporium, Rilsa knows the value of everything and everyone that moves through Baldur's Gate. She controls a wide network of agents who observe and track the exchange of goods and information as closely as any merchant or politician. But second-hand knowledge is cheap. Kalim Jewel Emporium. Rilsa's real trick is to draw those with secrets to share directly into her orbit. At her Garden of Whispers, information can be shared with the Guild anonymously. Anyone with a grudge to bear or a competitor to bring low, that is to say anyone of importance, can ensure that the whole city knows their grievance. It is said that if somebody speaks of your weak spot in the Garden at dawn, you can expect to find a knife buried in that exact spot before night falls. Okay. So maybe we need to speak about Gortash and the Garden of Whispers. Now. Where the fuck is... Ah, here it is. Much is made of Barovia's gloomy climate. It is said the mists there confuse the mind and torment the soul, binding travelers in a grip of such despair that escape is impossible to contemplate. As the new bride parted that heavy fog, I confess that I felt no such malaise beyond the onset of a rather stuffy nose. The same, I fear, could not be said of my crew. Among those who had not already cast themselves overboard, the gibbering and weeping became such that I was forced to bind them to the mast entire and navigate my fair bride alone. I went in search of that plane's dark master, having been informed that even my ship could not hope to breach the planar boundaries without permission, and so I probed the mist, defiant at the helm and belting our lively shanty of my own composition. The invitation did not long go unanswered. He appeared like the passing of a shadow overhead, sudden and terrifying, or certainly that was his intention, but once the mutual assurances of destruction were dispensed with, we found in one another kindred spirits, and fell to conversing in earnest. At length, price for my passage was agreed. Of that price and that man, I will say only this: he is surprisingly excellent company. given the stories, and the deed do not get in the way nearly so much as one would think. Barovia? Isn't Barovia... And she says gloomy climate as well. I'm guessing it's vampires. Barovia. Right. I don't know. 5 or 6 heroes. An easy-to-read children's book about an unlikely team of heroes who band together to defend a forest gnome village against marauding gnomes. The raiders are driven away, the village is saved, the comical sidekick gets engaged to a gnomish beekeeper, and virtue is triumphant. Okay. I guess someone's one shot. And it's outside here. Nothing.
In my opinion, we should have a still watch in every Baldurian home.
Okay. Guard Wolf. Zita.
I just packed the papers. If you've got a complaint, editor's inside.
Okay. And Wolf.
Oi! I got my eye on you. You got the look of a troublemaker.
I am. And then we got Falael.
156, 157, 15. Oh, I'm sorry, can't chat. 15. Shit! Where was I up to?
You got up to 158.
Oh, thank Corellin. You're a lifesaver. 158, 159.
The guard.
Watch yourself in there. Sarky bastards, these rat-a-tats.
Baldur's mouth.
Baldur's mouth.
That's it? Okay.
Afraid I'll have to ask you to stop there.
What
Only
is happening
Ettvard's
now?
allowed to use the basement elevator.
Okay.
Hey, cut it out, will you? I've got deliveries to manage.
Okay.
You ever heard of this many guards for a bloody broadsheet? It's ridiculous.
It is. Are they expecting me or what the fuck is happening here? They even got Steel Watcher here, Jesus.
Don't know about you, but them big metal bastards really put me off my flow.
Ah.
Best keep your hands to yourself. You're being watched.
I did not realize.
Damn it, damn it, damn it! Still missing one link. Oi, shove off. Don't be peeking at my scoop.
Hang on, wait, stay there. You reminded me of that word I was looking for, corpusculent. That's it. As you were.
Is that an insult? I think it may have been.
Hang on, you're not allowed down in the basement. Only Master Needle is permitted access to the printworks.
I see, I see. And you are the editor, I guess.
Well, well, if it isn't the city's next celebrity. You star in our next edition's top story.
What is the story about, by the way? Why don't we have this? Well, I guess, hold on. In one of the papers we saw like that some crazy adventurers killed Torm family. So I think maybe that's the scoop that they got. But anyway, let's try Varlock our way around this. I might have to check with my patron about that first, see how they feel about being in the spotlight.
Well, you should have considered that before disgracing yourself in public.
Oh,
Trafficking
I disgraced?
refugees into our city is hardly a good look. Especially when so many are absolutists and murderers. The truth will be out with tomorrow's broadsheet. People will spit in your face. Your very presence will be bad for business. You'll be a pariah, an outcast, as you should be. And then,
I see.
you can only hope the fist do their duty and escort you to the gallows. Your days of scumming up this good city streets will be over.
Who told you this nonsense?
I would never reveal my sources, and certainly not to the likes of you. Besides, you're too late. The headlines are loaded into the printworks already. Tomorrow, you will feel the power of free speech. Vox Populi, Vox Dei. Now, guards! I believe our distinguished guest was just leaving. Would you care to escort them out?
I wanted to talk with more people, but I mean, I don't want to fight the guards. And I really don't care about the newspaper, I guess.
This ain't the worst posting, I suppose. Beats guarding the docks. Place reeks.
Can I cannot. They locked themselves in. Okay. But I mean, I'm sure I can find myself a way in if I wanted to. But let's not care about it, I think.
Can I call you Ettvard? Well, Ettvard, I do support Lord Gortash's campaign.
No time to chat, mate, sorry. Since Gortash donated this printing machine, we've had ridiculous volume to shift.
Did you see Lord Gortash's latest interview in the Baldur's Mouth? Why, I'd spot the wearied gaze of a fellow Baldurian anywhere. Cheer up, friend. Our city's entering a most wondrous age. One of steel, of smoke, of efficiency. And we've Lord Enver Gortash to thank.
Steel and smoke.
Fear not, friend. The days of us proper Baldurians walking these streets in fear are over. Lord Gortash made that very clear in his latest interview. I'd recommend giving it a read.
Hmm.
To think, for decades, all we needed to build the steel watch has been sitting right there.
Gortash is a visionary, sure enough.
Let's take all of this. Rat trouble. That's stomping bars. We read about it. For Duke Steelmane. My lady, events in the Gate Underworld are moving fast, and I'm sorry to say that the Shield organization is unraveling. That young Load Gortash has cut our legs out from under us. Nine Fingers is no help, and the Gents just think it's funny. As for me, my lady, I think I have climbed to the top of Gortash's hit list. I can't help or protect you any further. My advice is to write the nights off, hunker down in your upper city mansion, and hire whatever muscle you can to guard it. Farewell, it's been an honor, Sir Gruzel. And Municipal Sanitation Notice. The Department of Drains and Underways is aware of the issue of the penetrating stench emanating from the round streets hatches that provide access to the city sewers. The tribe of gutter kobolds contracted to maintain free flow in the sanitation tunnels appears to have been slain or driven away by forces or circumstances unknown, and the resulting backup is responsible for the unpleasant odor. The department is taking appropriate measures to remedy the situation, but in the meantime, do not attempt to address the situation yourselves. Citizens are prohibited from using the round street sewer access hatches. Leave sanitation to the professionals. Okay. Caitlin?
You want the who's who and the what's what? Speak to Karis. She's always got the best goss. None of it's been wrong yet.
Okay. Baldur smiled. Flaming Fist in massive recruiting drive. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. With more refugees, you need more fists, and refugees can take those jobs. No comment from Hall of Wonders on Automaton. Does Duke Steelmane have a wasting disease? Secret project construction at Gondian Foundry. So does this is this like before the Steelwatch? Absolutist cult threatens eastern trade routes. Ritual murders on the rise. Bloom Prosecco a scourge, says Connoisseur. Ah, this is Caris.
Now don't believe anything Kate over there tells you. She's an awful liar.
Okay.
Found anything interesting in today's book?
I would love to have seen Gortash's coronation, but I would have to have skipped the after feast. I'm on a strict diet.
I see.
She always has something juicy in the gazette.
Gortash, an archduke. Saw him once at a distance. Looked like too much of a pipsqueak to fill those boots.
What do we do? What can we do? Embrace it. The mistress
I don't think I spoke with those. I mean, I'm beginning to understand that I can talk with people, but it doesn't matter. But whatever, right?
We've got no choice. We have to do what he says.
Oh, gods. He's spouting a load of crap. Don't waste your time.
This guy?
Listen and submit to the mistress of disease.
Okay. Pa-pam. Apparently, I'm not allowed in the outhouse. Makes sense, maybe. What do we have here? Citizens. This is the house. So then, is this elf song?
Oh, do you actually want one? Sorry, can't sell you any right now, but you can look. Mum will be back soon. I mean, shopkeeper will be back soon.
What are you selling? Vases, I guess? Yep, so this is elf song, and I think what we will do, actually, is end the episode here. And in the next one, I think I want to switch wheel to Astarion, maybe. And because I have to find more vampires, right? At some point. So yeah. Okay. And hope everything is fine here, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.